Hey, what's up guys? My name is BrainBean. Thanks for joining me for another review video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at a mouse with a little bit of a trick up its sleeve. I'm talking about the Thermaltake eSports Black FP gaming mouse. And my friends over at Thermaltake hooked me up with an extra one of these mice so that I can give one away to one of my subscribers. We'll have info on that at the end of the video. For now, let's go ahead and just take a look at the mouse. Starting with the size and shape, the Black FP is a fairly large mouse. To me, the shape feels ideal for palm grip users. The back of the mouse does slope down to make it relatively comfortable for use with claw grip as well, although I think this is going to depend on the size of your hands and how long your fingers are. There's a nice contour to mouse 1 and 2 or your left and right click buttons, and at first glance these buttons did seem a bit narrow, but after getting my hands on it, the grooves felt really comfortable with my fingers naturally wanting to rest in them. The mouse has a smooth texture that feels nice on your hand, but it does pick up oils from your hands as well, resulting in it being a bit of a fingerprint magnet. The thumb side had a nice shape to it that makes it feel natural, but the right side of the mouse didn't feel near as good on my 4th and 5th fingers. It feels like there either needs to be less of a lip on the edge or more. It could just feel that way because I have pretty long fingers. Either way, it wasn't a deal-breaking issue, but it's something that you should be mindful of. Now the Black FP does not have RGB illumination, but you still get a few lighting effects with the red LEDs when the mouse is in battle mode. There's 2 lighting zones, the Thermaltake eSports logo located on the palm rest and the scroll wheel. I don't see this as being a big deal breaker for everyone, but in today's market and at this price point, I do think that the RGB should have been included to be more competitive. The Black FP does come with a weight tuning system with 5 4.5 gram weights that you can add or remove to your preference. With all of the weights installed, the mouse does feel a bit heavy on the palm side, but after playing with the weights, you can achieve a pretty good balance. Since we're looking at the scroll wheel, I have to tell you I'm not quite sure how I feel about this one. Aesthetically, the clear sides allowed for the LEDs to permeate them nicely and makes for a cool lighting effect, but this design choice does mean that there's a pretty thin amount of real estate left for the rubber grip. I'd estimate it's about 1/3 of the size of your typical scroll wheel grip. That said, I didn't really notice any difference in performance, but it does give you a bit more smooth feel opposed to your more typical grippy feeling scroll wheel. This is a 7-button mouse, so you of course have your mouse 1 and 2, which give a nice crisp click thanks to the Omron switches inside, and these switches are rated to last 5 million clicks. Then there's mouse 3, or the scroll wheel, which does have a slightly heavier than usual actuation. Then there's mouse 4 and 5, or the thumb buttons, which offer a pretty soft actuation with a really satisfying click to them as well. The 2 other buttons are for on-the-fly DPI adjustment, and you can of course bind these buttons however you choose in Thermaltake's Command Center software, and you can save up to 35 macros over 5 available custom profiles. Just so you guys can get a quick idea of how these buttons sound, here's a quick sound test of the Thermaltake Black FP. The Black FP uses an Avago 9500 laser sensor with default DPI settings of 400, 800, 2000, and 4000, which can be toggled on the fly with the previously mentioned DPI buttons. There's also 4 LEDs to represent the respective DPI settings. Of course, you can change these to whatever your preference is in the software as well. The 9500 is a pretty common sensor among today's gaming mice, and it performs really well. Now, as I mentioned before, this mouse does have a bit of a trick up its sleeve. The Black FP actually has a biometric fingerprint scanner built right into the mouse. It uses iron veil technology to scan your fingerprints and use them for added security, similar to how you would use it on your phone. You can set it for added security functions like unlocking your Windows profiles, logging into websites, or accessing files that you might want to keep more secure. And the Black FP has a 6-foot long braided cable with gold-plated USB connector. You have 4 Teflon pads under the mouse to allow it to glide more smoothly over a mouse pad. After using this mouse as my daily driver for a while and really allowing myself to get used to the shape of the mouse in my hand, I found it to have a really nice natural feeling grip that was quite comfortable. The Avago laser sensor performed flawlessly, allowing me to track targets without any jumping or skipping. Overall, the Black FP from Thermaltake is a pretty solid mouse. It's not without its faults though. The scroll wheel could have a bit more grip, and the absence of RGB illumination in today's RGB crazy world could be a bit of a letdown for some users. But performance-wise, it gives you exactly what you would expect from a gaming mouse. A comfortable feel, nice responsive buttons, and once you get the weights tuned in, a nice balanced feel. You could say the addition of a fingerprint reader is a bit of a gimmick, but if you take the time to set it all up properly, it does actually come in pretty handy. It's the kind of an odd thing to have on your typical gaming mouse, but if you want that added level of security, it is a pretty cool feature. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Like I mentioned before, I am going to be giving one of these black FP mice away to one of my subscribers. Now, all you have to do to be eligible is obviously, like it sounds, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on my videos in the future. And also just drop me a comment down below letting me know what you think about having a fingerprint scanner on your mouse. Do you think it's overkill, or do you think it's something that might actually come in handy? Consider giving this video a like if you enjoyed it to show your support, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here because you don't want to miss out on this giveaway, and I do have a lot more videos coming your way in the near future. You can also follow me on Twitter at BrainBeanGaming to stay up to date with what's going on with my channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.